There we go. We're online. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Roger Paul, and tonight we are going to continue our study with the personalities of the grand universe. And I apologize to everyone out there that tried to see us last week. Our internet went down, and we weren't able to get back up. It stayed out for about 2 hours. So sorry we missed everybody's. We're going to take it up exactly where we would have last week. So I've got to study this twice, getting ready for it.
So we expect a lot out of you today.
Yeah. So that reminds me, Gary,
when I listened to the tape, I couldn't understand why you didn't finish with the ministering spirits before you went on to the next universe power directives. It was just, 7 more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to finish the ministering spirits tonight. That's where we're starting on 32.
Yes, I
Yes.
can see that.
Yes.
Why didn't you finish it last time? It was just
We had run completely out of time. I mean, completely. I was a little bit over, a couple minutes over. I talked too much. Yeah. That's what it was. Well, let's say a little prayer and we'll get started. Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight. Thank you for this opportunity to share your wonderful revelation with those out there that are listening on YouTube and Facebook and Vimeo and all the different formats. We thank you for those that listen and benefit from this. I pray that you'll open our hearts and minds that we might remember it and share it with others and prepare us for our next trip to the mansion world, the next stop we have. So thank you. We ask you bless us in the name of your son, Michael, Jesus of Nazareth. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Sweetie, do you want to start with the list of the ministering spirits?
Okay. See the ministering spirits. 1, Supernifem. 2, Saconifem. 3, Tertiafem. 4, Omniafem. 5, Seraphim. 6, Cherubim and Sanabin. 7, Midwayers.
Y'all notice all these we've been reading are the same, almost the exact same list of the paradise list, right? Yeah. So it's just a repeat of it because it's a Uversa list of beings. But like I said, when we went through the paradise one, the Supernifem is the paradise angels, the Saconifem, Tertiafem, and Omniafem is the Havona angel. Of course, we have Tertiafem, Omniafem in the capital also, and then Seraphim are the angels of the super universe, right? And it's the Seraphim that takes us to the mansion worlds, and their assistants are the Cherubim and Sanabim, and they only assist them on this planet. When we go on to the mansion worlds, they do not follow us to the mansion worlds. They are reassigned or either go on to a mansion world in another capacity. But something interesting about this list is the midwayers, right? Because they count the midwayers as ministering spirit also. What do you think that is?
I don't think they had any place else to put them because the midwayers was God's oops.
Anyway, gotcha. I wouldn't call them that, but the midwayers, if you think about it, they do minister to us like the other angels do, but they're stuck here on the planet until the planet reaches light and life. So that's why they probably listed them under ministering spirits, because they have to be here. They don't have any choice until they release them to go on. So I guess that's
Hey, Roger, in terms of their ministry, what exactly do they do for human beings?
Oh, Lord.
That's right.
They do everything in the background that needs to be done on this planet.
So they can rescue, they can help human beings and sometimes in emergencies, sometimes.
In emergency situations, yeah, they get authorization to rescue people of destiny. Okay, and when I say people of destiny, some of us are destined to do certain things for the planet, for God the Father, for whatever. And sometimes the midwayers get authorization to step in to protect those people from I guess being killed or danger and that sort of thing, because
But they're
very
not like the
important.
seraphim that are mind stimulators, correct?
Right, they're not. They are
They're more of a
physical
physical
beings,
nature.
more of a physical nature. Well, the secondary ones, the primary aren't as physical as the secondary. If they need anything physical done, they will call in a secondary midwayer, not a
Correct.
primary. But the primary midwayers work in the background with the administration of the planet constantly. So they really are ministering spirits in a sense. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Jane, would you take the next one, Universe Power Directors, all the way down to the unclassified centers? You'll read that list. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
The universe power directors, the 7 supreme power directors. A, the seven supreme power directors. B, supreme power centers. 1, supreme center supervisors. 2, Havona centers. 3, super universe centers. 4, local universe centers. 5, constellation centers. 6, system centers. 7, unclassified centers.
And we know all these power directors and stuff. Are you muted? You're muted. That's weird. Anyway, all these power directors and everyone under the list have to do with all the physical matter of the 7 super universes, the grand universe, everything that has to do with any type of matter. It's these power centers that control this, right? Along with the next list, the master physical controllers, right? And Rodney, will you read this one for us?
Yes. C, master physical controllers. 1, associate power directors. 2, mechanical controllers. 3, energy transformers. 4, energy transmitters. 5, primary associators. 6, secondary
So dissociators, yeah, that's close enough.
associators. 7, phalanx and chronodex.
That's good. Okay, so both of these groups have to do with physical matter and the energy systems of the 7 super universes, right? Okay, then we have the Urantia version of the power controllers, right? And they are this list. Millie, would you take that one for us, please?
Got it. D, Urantia power supervisors. Circuit regulators. Number 2 is system coordinators. Number 3 is planetary custodians. 4, combined controllers. 5, liaison stabilizers, and 6, selective assorters. 7, associate registrars.
And if you have any questions about these, you can go back to the last paper. We covered all of this in depth, right? Okay, and I don't want to beat it to death, so I'm not going to go over it again. But this is the Urantia.
I like the assorters.
Assorter, you like this order? Yeah.
That's a
Almost
fun
select-
one. Yeah.
Selective assorters. Yeah,
Selective assorters, yeah.
that's right. All right, and then we come to the core of permanent citizenship. And why do you think these are called permanent citizenship? These are called permanent citizens because these are beings that are assigned to a planet, a constellation, or a super universe for long periods of time, and they're considered the permanent citizens of that universe. Some of them eventually get released, but most of them just stay right there in that universe forever, right? So let me see if I can get I don't think I can get this down where we can get all 12 of them. Yeah, maybe I can. Here we go. So it's the core of permanent citizenship. Let me go up a little bit more. Maybe we can read them all. Okay, Gary, would you like to read those?
Number 1, the planetary midwayers. Number 2, the Adamic sons of the systems. 3, the constellation,
Unification,
whatever that is, Unification. Okay.
right.
The local universe, you set me up.
Susatia.
Asia. Okay. 5, the spirit fused mortals of the local universe. 6, the super universe abandon.
Avendanters. Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay. 7, the sun fused mortals of the super universes. The Havona natives, natives of the paradise sphere of the spirit, natives of the Father's paradise spheres, the created citizens of paradise, the adjusted fused mortal citizens of paradise.
Okay, so this covers all the way up to paradise, doesn't it? Okay, and these are all in the list of the Uversa registry. Okay, and I think we've pretty much got a pretty good idea of what all of these are. The Adamic sons, of course, are the Adams and Eves, right, that come to the planet. And other beings like the Unification and the Susatia are support personnel, basically, for these systems and that sort of thing. All right, and then the spirit fused mortals of the local universe, those are ones that are fused with a spirit, and then they stay in the local universe. They don't go on the ascension plan, right? All right.
Hey, Roger,
so-
I had a question.
Yeah.
What do they refer to it as Uversa registry? Is that sort of like saying the Uversa list of what celestials are on, 606 Urantia, or
No, that's the
how do they?
Uversa. Uversa is the capital of our super universe.
Right, the center, but
Yeah.
like what does that mean? Like registration?
Well, the registry is all the types of beings that they want to tell us about that we're going to encounter on our paradise ascension plan.
Okay,
So
thank
these
you.
are all the beings that are listed under their registry of beings that we will encounter.
Okay.
Right. Now there's lots of other beings in this registry that they don't tell us about that are not revealed to us. Right.
Correct.
All right. And let's go on to the next one. Lech, would you take the next one sentence there?
Paragraph, okay.
Yeah.
This is the working classification of the personalities of the universes as they are of record on the headquarters world of Uversa.
Okay, so this is a list of, go ahead, Lech.
Oh, sorry. Composite personality groups. There are on Uversa the records of numerous additional groups of intelligent beings, beings that are also closely related to the organization and administration of the grand universe. Among such orders are the following 3 composite personality groups. Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, we've gone this far. Go ahead and read that 7 list,
Okay.
7 in the list. Yeah.
A, the paradise corpse of the finality. 1, the corpse of mortal finalators. 2, the core of paradise finalators. 3, the core of trinitized finalators. 4, the core of conjoint trinitized finalators. 5, the core of Havana finalators. 6, the core of transcendental finalators. 7, the core of unrevealed sons of destiny.
Okay, and then the mortal choral finality dealt with the next paper. Then we're going to take that up soon. But the whole point is here, all the cores of finality are all registered in the universe and Uversa registry also. Okay, and these are all the groups of different types of beings that's gone all the way through the paradise ascent and joined the finalator group of which they belong. All right, so some of them are mortal, some are paradise, some are trinitized, some are Havona natives, some are transcendentalers, and then there's a whole group of unrevealed finalities that we don't even know about, right? All right.
Hey,
and-
Roger, that question that I just asked you, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It was like right there, just above you.
Yes.
You know, in my experience with the Urantia book, it's always like that. I'll ask a question and it's like the next paragraph, there's your answer.
There's your answer. That's
Every
right.
time.
True a lot.
All right. And what's last but not least is the universe aids. And Tim, would you read that little list there for us, please?
Yes, B, the universe aids. 1, bright morning stars. 2, brilliant evening stars. 3, archangels. 4, most high assistants. 5, high commissioners. 6, celestial overseers. 7, mansion world teachers.
And these are all, they're called universe aids because they aid in lots of different situations throughout all the local universes, right? Okay, like the bright morning star, we know that's Gabriel.
Gabriel,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and then the evening stars are all those angels created under Gabriel, right? And then they set out the archangels as a separate group, but they're like the highest. Now, it's funny because the archangels don't even answer to Gabriel. You know, that's how high they are. All right, and then we have the others that are assistants and that sort of thing that aid in the universe and running things. Okay. All right, Diane, would you take the next paragraph?
On all headquarters worlds of both local and super universes, provision is made for these beings who are engaged in specific missions for the creator sons, the local universe rulers. We welcome these universe aids on Uversa, but we have no jurisdiction over them. Such emissaries prosecute their work and carry on their observations under authority of the creator sons. Their activities are more fully described in the narrative of your local universe.
Okay, so they basically answer to the creator son, not to the ancients of days normally. Normally they have to go through the creator son for everything, right? Okay, so they're really under the hierarchy of the creator son. Now, we do have one more group, and that's the 7 courtesy colonies. And these comes from a whole mishmash of different types of beings. Okay, so let's read through this one real quick. Jane, will you read through that list of 7 there?
Okay. C, the 7 courtesy colonies. 1, star students. 2, celestial artisans. 3, reversion directors. 4, extension school instructors. 5, the various reserve corps. 6, student visitors. 7, ascending pilgrims.
Okay, so these 7 basically come from different backgrounds, and they join these different courtesy colonies for a long or short period of time. And so that release them from duty, from going like on the ascension plan or taking on other duties and that sort of thing. So, and it kind of explains that a little bit in the next paragraph. Rodney, would you take
Roger,
that?
where are courtesy colonies?
Where are they? Is that what you asked? Oh, they're on all the different worlds throughout all the local universe. Okay, so you might find them on actual planets. You might find them like on the mansion worlds. You'd find them on the local system headquarters. You could find them on the constellation headquarters, or any of the worlds that we climb through on the way to paradise. All right, so different groups of them will be at different places. Pardon me?
Any architectural worlds.
Any of the architectural worlds for sure. And like for instance, the architectural worlds are perfect for the star students because they can see out from the architectural worlds easier than they can the local universe worlds, right? Because we all have atmospheres and stuff like that. And on the mechanical worlds, they may not actually have a physical atmosphere like there is here. You see what I'm saying? Because it's architectural sphere. So they can see straight out from it. You know, it's like having the difference between if we look up in the sky, we see what? We see blue in the daytime, right? Because of the reflection of the light because of the sun, and it's bouncing off our atmosphere. If we didn't have an atmosphere, what would we see when we looked up?
Black.
Black. That's right. That's exactly right. So on some of the architectural sphere, because there's of the type of atmosphere or lack of atmosphere, many of them can see nothing but black. So there's nothing to interfere with their view of the universe. They can look out through telescopes and that sort of thing and see everything perfectly. Make sense?
Isn't it one time our telescopes couldn't see really
Hmm.
too much because there's all that cloudiness?
Well,
In the
well,
Milky Way,
yeah.
you can't see beyond, but can they do that now?
No, you can't see, you still can't see beyond the Milky Way. All right,
Okay.
you can see all the way around the Milky Way. Okay, you could see, we're on a really strange advantage on this planet because we can actually see to the outer space levels. If you look at the opposite way of the Milky Way, we're looking at the outer space levels because we're on the edge of the
Correct.
seventh super universe, right? But most planets can't see that. Okay, they're not out on the edge of the seventh super universe. But we will only be able to see that for a few 100,000 years because it will what? The local universe will rotate around to face the Milky Way more than it will the outer space levels. Make sense?
And I just had a question. The creator sons really don't answer to the Ancients of Days, because I realize that when you think about it,
No.
creator sons are in charge of a local universe, which is much smaller compared to a super universe, which, you know, the Ancients of Days, there are 3 to every super universe, maintain that. That's a lot to maintain, but those
Yeah,
sections
but
are
the creator
divided.
sons, the only ones that answer totally to the Ancients of Days are those who have not finished their bestowals, right?
Right, not the master sons.
Not the master son, because the before they become
Master sons?
master sons, creator sons on their own right, they're vicegerents of the universal father, right? And in essence, they stay vicegerents of universal fathers, but they rule in their own right at that
Now, if they
point.
were to rebel, if they were to sin, disloyalty to deity, then something would, I wonder
Well, the
who
Ancients
would
of
be
Days, it would be the Ancients of Days that would step in.
correct. Wow.
part
Yeah,
of
that's up
part of
there.
the high actor. Yeah, yeah. But they get you got to remember the Ancients of Days, they get the Ancients of Days to determine life and death situations of all beings, right?
Oh, wow.
Only the Ancients of Days makes that call.
Are you talking about here on this planet, or just like the survival series?
On every planet, any survival of any being in the
Okay.
7 super universes.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
They're not interfering with free will. They're when it's time for that person to die and to be pretty much judged, or is he going to have eternal life? Has he, you know, that's what we're talking about.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Were you going to say something, Gary?
Yeah, I was wondering if you had their address. I was going to send them a birthday card or something to get on the good.
Yes, I have that, Gary. It's pretty difficult if you can do the
Yeah.
math, but
The 700 billion star star cluster. Turn left there, and
exactly. And it's math you've never seen before.
yeah. I don't think the U.S. mail goes there. I'm not sure, but I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
UPS mail.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
little
you-
slower, Roger, but I can send a mighty messenger there.
All right, Rodney, would you take the next paragraph, please?
Yes. These 7 groups of beings will be found thus organized and governed on all headquarters worlds, from the local systems up to the capitals of the super universes, particularly the latter. The capitals of the 7 super universes are the meeting places for almost all classes and orders of intelligent beings, with the exception of numerous groups of paradise of honors Here, the will creatures of every phase of existence may be observed and studied.
There you go. So all class of the beings are all the way up to the very top of the scale. All right, now the next section, there's only two more sections left, the courtesy colony, and the last section is the ascending mortals, which is very important to us. But I want to try to get through at least get through the courtesy colonies tonight, because the ascending mortal stuff I want to hit pretty hard. So this is the 7, they're talking about the 7 groups, and this list we just read, right? The star students, celestial. Okay, so they're going to break down each one of these and what they do. Okay, so let's start with the courtesy colonies, number 3. Millie, would you take that first paragraph? Actually, take the first paragraph and the first one, number 1, the star students. All right.
Okay, I can do that. The courtesy colonies. The 7 courtesy colonies sojourn on the architectural spheres for a longer or shorter time while engaged in the furtherance of their mission and in the execution of their special assignments. Their work may be described as follows. 1, the star students, the celestial astronomers, choose to work on spheres like universa because such specially constructed worlds are unusually favorable for their observation and calculations. Uversa is favorable, situated for a work of this colony, not only because of its central location, but also because there are no gigantic living or dead suns near at hand to disturb the energy currents. These students are not in any manner organically connected with the affairs of the superuniverse. They are merely guests.
So they can see better from there because it's centrally located. Plus there's nothing keeping them to be able to see out from there really well. Okay, so that's why they put them, that's why they like to go to Uversa, right? All right, and it also says here that they are not organically connected to the affairs. What does that mean? That means that they're not in the administration of any of the local universe or the super universe. They're guests there to do their work. Okay, so they're not called upon to do duty of administration of a universe or anything like that. All right.
Does that mean they didn't grow there? They just came there?
They come there as student visitors, really, star students. So they're considered visitors because they're not assigned there. Okay, they just come there to work. And when they decide to become a star student, they have to commit for a whole millennium of time. It's going to talk about this in just a second.
So the word organic is that evolution in reference to evolution, organic?
Yeah, that's in reference to, well, not only evolution, but the administration of the universe.
Okay,
really.
thank you.
All right.
Star students, they're just ascending mortals.
They're ascending mortals that volunteer to become star students for a whole millennium. Okay. Now you probably wonder, why would someone volunteer to do something for a whole millennium if you're worried about getting to paradise? Because time becomes not such a big deal when you live for millions and millions and millions and millions of years, right?
Yeah, there is no rush, right? It's like
no
taking
rush.
yeah, it's like saying, oh, I'm gonna go to, I don't know, pick any place you like, and I'm gonna stay there for 2 years for a vacation.
Yeah.
We wouldn't think of that, but
For
because it's a
100
long
years.
time.
Yeah. Let's take a 100-year trip to Saturn and see what it looks like.
So they just
Yeah.
really enjoy studying the stars and astronomy. I mean, that would be fascinating.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they
they
have
learn
such
from it too.
better technology than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
I'm
think-
sure there's a lot to see out there.
I think what Roger just said is important. They learn from being there.
That's right. You can't gain that experience unless you go through it, right? It's like it's kind of like our experiences in this world. Okay, think about it this way. If you decide you want to become a barber, okay, or a hairstylist, right? You can go through barber school or hairstyling school, you can learn how to do it and all that stuff, but you don't really start to gain the experience until you actually get out there and do it, right? So if you want to become a barber or a hairstylist, you go through school and you experience it for 5 or 10 years, you might get tired of it, right? So what do? You change careers, right? And you go on to do something else. That don't mean it was good or bad or indifferent. It's just a different experience. And that's the way the universe runs. You know, you get to gain different experiences. And because we're not limited by time, these things that we choose to do, doesn't matter how long we get to do it or we don't, right?
Right. But Roger, it's like they give you mannequins to practice on.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
even with these guys, they don't let them do anything that would alter anything.
Listen, when I was in barber college, I'll never forget shaving balloons. You know how long it takes to learn how to shave a balloon without busting it? It's a lot of practice.
Yeah, a lot of it. And I think they just told us that about these guys. They
Yeah,
really are not part of the
That's right.
administration that has any function.
Well, you can ask my wife. I've had many, many careers over my lifetime, many careers.
That's great.
And any one of them you gain experience from. And that's why you can walk away from this earth thinking, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. It's how you live your life.
Right.
Right.
There is no
Absolutely.
such thing as a bad profession. It's how you live it. It really is.
Well, hey, Roger, do you think it's going to be like multiple sort of volunteer positions? Like take the Celestial Artisans, for instance. I mean, or if they give you a
Constantly.
choice, like, hey, do you want to be an astronomer or a Celestial Artisan? It's like, what would you pick?
You have constant choices
Nice.
along the pathway, So it says in the book in one place about the mansion worlds, it says any goal you have set for yourself in this life, you don't get to fulfill. You have the opportunity to fulfill that goal in the mansion worlds.
Oh, nice.
Right? So if you want to do something, just wait till you get there, right?
Roger, I have a comment.
To be a
Yeah.
million.
Yeah,
Um,
Rodney.
to me, it's similar to in Boy Scouts, we would have different experiences and get merit badges for doing, for
Yeah.
accomplishing.
That's great,
Yeah.
Rodney.
That's right. Well, when I was a chiropractor, I started out just plain old chiropractor, went through sports medicine, went through x-ray study. I mean, you have all these different things you can study in any profession, and it makes you a better chiropractor, right? It makes you a better doctor. And before I decided to go to chiropractic school, my goal was to go into surgery. Okay, so I studied general medicine. I wasn't studying chiropractic, but it just something that became interesting to me. So I went with it for a while. And then I got certified in sports medicine. I got certified in x-ray interpretation. I got, lots of different things while I was a doctor, and they all come in handy. But it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. They're all good.
Was this
Right.
in the Navy or separate
No,
fields?
this is way after the Navy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I started chiropractic school, I already had 21 years of college. So
What'd you do in the Navy, by the way?
I went in as a jet engine mechanic.
Oh, cool. Wow.
And, yeah, of all things. That's a whole different story. We don't want to take up this time.
Okay.
talking about that.
You taught karate too.
I taught
That's
karate.
awesome, man.
I ran a bar, the EM club.
Jesus.
I ran, build up vending machines.
Can I use it as a reference? Yeah.
Yeah. We all get to do lots of
That's
things. I
awesome,
swept
man.
floors and mop floors.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Cut the yard and got lots of experience.
That's
Anyway,
great.
let's get moving. All right. I believe, let's see who's up next. I don't even remember now. Jane, did you just read?
The Star Students, I don't remember. No, I think I read not long ago. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go with Rodney then. Rodney, did you just read?
Sure.
Uh,
I'll read it though.
Yeah.
The astronomical colony of Uversa contains individuals from many nearby realms, from the central universe, and even from Norlasia deck. Any being on any world in any system of any universe may become a star student, may aspire to join some corps of celestial astronomers. The only requisites are continuing life and sufficient knowledge of the worlds of space, especially their physical laws of evolution and control. Star students are not required to serve eternally in this corps, but no one admitted to this group may withdraw under 1 millennium of Uversa time.
There it is. So once you join, you're stuck there for a millennium, right?
The
So you have-
requirement.
It's a requirement. You have to make a commitment, right? Right.
I have a question. I automatically think that a star student is someone who has excelled. Like in school, the star student is head of the class.
No, not necessarily, Millie. They just have to understand the basic physical laws of evolution and control, so they have a base to start from. Okay, so they can be almost anyone, really, and you can join it anywhere along the way. Like, for instance, if you get through, let's say, the 5th mansion world and you decide you want to do that, I guess it's okay if you do that. You take a break for 1,000 years and then go back to it. So I'm not sure how that works. So I don't know
We'll
if you
find
can
out.
actually,
We'll-
I don't know if you could actually do it before you get through all 7 mansion worlds or not. I wouldn't think you could.
We'll
Yeah,
find
Jane.
out. We'll find
I
out
have a
when we get
question.
there.
Go ahead, Jane.
Yeah, I have a question. So, would they remember what their goal is and where that they were on a ascending plan?
Pathway? Yeah.
Yeah, would they remember that, or would they be like we are here? We are born, we live on this planet, and we're not conscious really of other existence. We're just here
Yeah.
to do what we do here. This is an exception of a lot of people, we know we're spiritual beings,
Mhm.
but would they be the same?
Yes, they would, Jane. They would be totally aware that they were on their ascension plan, okay, when they signed up for this. So they would be aware of this ascension plan in the background all the time. Even though it'd take a millennium of time for them to get through this, they will always know that they will get back to going on the ascension plan. That's for
Okay.
sure.
Hey,
Okay,
Roger.
so it wouldn't be like an unconscious thing. It would always be there with you. Yeah, Tim.
Okay.
In response to Jane's question, I had a similar one time I asked you, and it was when we reawaken, say like on another mansion world or say another sphere. I
Mhm.
remember asking you, well, do we lose our memory? And you said, no, you totally remember everything. And I thought that was so fascinating because this
Yeah.
planet makes you believe that this is all there is, and you're just going to reawaken and you're not going to remember anything that could
Mhm.
happen. Like they do give us an example, and the angels have to,
Rehearse you. in
rehearse
your
their memory.
memories.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
retell who, but that's in awkward situations. But it's not going to
Yeah.
be like that.
No, but the angels can rehearse your entire life with you, so that your life, because reality is so much more real in the mansion worlds than it is here. If you did not have the angels rehearsing your past, all of it would seem like a hazy dream to you. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why they do that. So you have total remember. Plus the brain you get when you get to the mansion worlds retains everything. It's not like here on Earth. I've read this book 40 some times at least over my lifetime. And yet I still read things and I think, did I read that before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Our retention is so limited on this world. But when you get to the mansion worlds, when you learn something, you learn it once and you got it.
Wow.
So forever. So you don't forget things. And
There must be a lot to learn out there if it takes so long to get there, if we retain
Yeah.
everything learned.
yeah, there
Well, they
is.
also
I
say
mean,
that the universe is one vast school.
it is, if you think about it.
Well, I hope they have very tiny, tiny chips, or because we won't be able to get.
Are you talking about Doritos, Jane? Or Ruffles?
You won't need no chips, Jane.
Yeah,
Kind of like
Jane.
they say in that movie,
It's
who you don't
big,
need no
no?
stinking badges.
Yeah, Jane, I want pizza. I can't eat bread. I want
Uh,
pizza. I demand it.
I
Oh,
think she's
man.
talking about computer chips.
No Doritos? No Coca-Cola?
No. All right, let's keep going here. Millie, will you take the next one? The Star Observer Colony.
The Star Observer Colony of Uversa now numbers over 1 million. These astronomers come and go, though some remain for comparatively long periods. They carry on their work with the aid of a multitude of mechanical instruments and physical appliances. They are also greatly assisted by the solitary messengers and other spirit explorers. Now, I have this next part highlighted. The celestial astronomers make constant use of the living energy transformers and transmitters, as well as the reflective personalities of their work of the star study and space survey. They study all forms of phases and space material and energy manifestations, and they are just as much interested in the force function as in the stellar phenomena. Nothing in all space escapes their scrutiny.
Now, why do you think they use the energy transformers and the transmitters in their work? Because these are the beings that use the celestial lines of communication and the circuits to get the information back and forth. So by using these constant energies that's going out to space in different locations, they can get, and it also talks about the reflective personalities, they can get an idea of the way a place actually is just through the energy circuits and the reflectivity personalities. So it's just like they're there. Okay, so it's like having
very important. Very important.
Yeah, it's like having a bird's eye seat, really, so that would be pretty interesting. All right, we got one more paragraph on this. Gary, would you take that last paragraph on the celestial astronomers?
Similar astronomer colonies are to be found on the sector headquarters worlds of the superuniverse, as well as the architectural capitals of the local universe and their administrative subdivisions. Except on Paradise, knowledge is not inherent. Understanding of the physical universe is largely dependent upon observation and research.
Okay, that's a little nugget of knowledge that I want to make sure y'all get tonight. It said, except on Paradise. You see that? Knowledge is not inherent. So if you think you're going to get to the mansion worlds and you're going to have all this flood of new information and you're going to be Mr. Smart Guy, you're going to be disappointed.
We have to learn it.
You have to learn it. That's right. Even when you get to Paradise, what they're talking about here, except on Paradise, is the Paradise citizens. When they are created perfect, they are created with all the knowledge of Paradise. Okay? But guess what? When we get there, what do we have to do?
Study.
We have to learn. We have to study. We have to learn it. That's right.
I've always said that. I don't want to start out advanced. No, I want to start from the bottom in the beginning. So
Well, you got lots of time to do
Oh, good.
that. That's where we are.
You're aware.
that's great.
That's right. You won't
Because-
be disappointed there.
Sure. I hope so, because then you can take what you've learned and help other people,
Well, at least, Tim, we've come to the point where we can put two sentences together, haven't we? So
Yeah.
I guess we started somewhere.
That's one small step for Meg.
One small step for man. That's right. I wonder sometimes when I read this book if they really thought we could put two sentences together, because if somebody doesn't help you understand it, it is hard to understand. It really is. I know Millie back in like 2011, we'd read a paragraph and she says, now, if that's not just a bunch of gobbledygook, I don't know what is. But look at Millie, she understands it now. All right, she's getting it.
I
Understand more of it now.
Yeah, that's right.
But all that we've just read is
Yeah, I mean,
just the star students.
yeah,
Just the
I mean,
star students, and we've got all the other courtesy colonies. We've got 6 more courtesy colonies that do other things. This is just the
That's right.
star students
just the
doing this.
star students. That's right. That's right. But doesn't it help to have someone kind of explain it to you a little bit?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. And thank you
If
for that,
nothing
Roger.
else, well, if nothing else, it helps you think about it and help you develop your own concepts of it, and like I've said many times, I could be wrong, you can't take it as gospel. This is the way I understand it, and I'm trying to help everyone understand it at some point, and then you can develop your own opinions.
But it's a
about it.
great
And it's-
idea, and you're so
It's
helpful.
good. It's good to do it in a group because I hear other people's thoughts and ideas and questions.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right. It does. It helps. Okay. Did you have something to say, Gary, before we move on?
no, I don't think I did. No.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the celestial artisans. Now, there's a paper on this one that we went to the
44.
mountains, paper 44. We went to the mountains. Got about halfway through this paper, I think, on the celestial artisans, and then finished it when we got back. But there's a interesting video out there at the mountain retreat Diane and I went to up in, was it North Carolina? North Carolina. And that is a good paper to listen to. If you've never listened to it, it's on the celestial artisans. And well, I got into some explanation of the trip to the mansion world and everything else during that thing. It's interesting to listen to if you want something different to watch. Okay, so number 2, the celestial artisans. Letch, would you take the next one, please?
The celestial artisans serve throughout the 7 super universes. Ascending mortals have their initial contact with these groups in the Urantia career of the local universe, in connection with which these artisans will be more fully discussed.
And we went into long explanations on this when we went through the paper on the celestial artisans. So we'll leave that for your own research there. But basically, they are those who, to say it in a nutshell, they decorate and make all our life more interesting. Okay, so they're really celestial artisans, paintings and music and everything that makes life more enjoyable. There's a group of these celestial artisans and makes this happen. Okay, so it's that group that makes it more interesting. Okay, let's go on to the reversion directors, and they're closely related to the celestial artisans. Tim, would you take that one, please?
3, the reversion directors are the promoters of relaxation and humor. Reversion to past memories. They are of great service in the practical operation of the ascending scheme of mortal progression, especially during the earlier phases of Urantia, transition, and spirit experience. This story belongs to the narrative of the immortal career in the local universe.
So they go in great detail on the reversion directors and on the local universe stuff. And we'll get to that for too long here. But they basically help us remember past experiences and find humor in what we've done before. It's a good thing to be able to laugh at yourself, because if we don't, we'd all go crazy, right? All right. Number 4 here. Would you take that, please?
4, extension school instructors. The next higher residential world of the ascendant career always maintains a strong core of teachers on the world just below, a sort of preparatory school for the progressing residents of that sphere. This is a phase of the ascendant scheme for advancing the pilgrims of time. These schools, their methods of instruction and examinations are wholly unlike anything which you essay to conduct on Urantia.
So these extension school instructors basically help us to understand going from one world to another and understand what we're learning, why we're learning it, where we're going, right? That is the easiest way to say it. And we will all play a part as extension school instructors at one time or another, because we got to do what? We got to train people that are coming up behind us, right? And that's what this next paragraph says here. Jane, would you take it?
The entire ascendant plan of mortal progression is characterized by the practice of giving out to other beings new truth and experience just as soon as acquired. You work your way through the long school of paradise attainment by serving as teachers to those pupils just behind you in this scale of progression. You're doing
So-
that now, Roger.
Yes, I do that every Tuesday and Thursday, don't I? Try to anyway. Much as I can remember anyway. But this is what we all be doing, right? This is what every single one of us will be doing. When you learn new concepts, when you learn new things, you're going to teach someone behind you the same process, right? And it's kind of funny because in life, you will find when you get more and more into this instructor-student mode in your life, you'll be doing this every day throughout your life. You go, what? You think about it, all your interactions with friends and family and relatives, you are constantly teaching them something.
That's true.
You know, the question is this: are you teaching them good things, or are you teaching them the bad things, the negative things, right? And you can experience this in your everyday life with every interaction you have with other human beings, right? With different things, right? That's what this life's all about, right?
That's true.
All right. And that's the extension school instructors. All right. Then we go on to the various reserve corps. All right. Who just read?
I
Okay, Rodney, would you take the next one, please?
Yes, of course. 5 various reserve corps. Vast reserves of beings not under our immediate supervision are mobilized on Uversa as the Reserve Corps colony. There are 70 primary divisions of this colony on Uversa, and it is a liberal education to be permitted to spend a season with these extraordinary personalities. Similar general reserves are maintained on Salvington and other universe capitals. They are dispatched on active service on the requisition of their respective group directors.
Okay, so there's various reserve corps for different things that are in reserve all the time. So anything you can think of that you want to learn about, there's an opportunity that you can learn, right? Anything. All right. And then we get to one that's really interesting. I'm glad we at least made it down to this one tonight. The student visitors. Millie, would you take the student visitors?
I can do that. Number 6, the student visitors. From all the universe, a constant stream of celestial visitors pours through the various headquarter worlds. As individuals and as classes, these various types of beings flock in upon us as observers, exchange pupils, and student helpers. On Uversa at present, there are over 1 billion persons in this courtesy colony. Some of these visitors may tarry a day, others may remain a year, all dependent on the nature of their mission. This colony contains almost every class of universe being except creative personalities and Urantia mortals.
Okay, so student visitors get to go out and visit everywhere, don't they? That's why I constantly mention, don't you think some of these UFOs we see up in the sky might be student visitors coming from other planets, observing us?
Could
That's
very
a
well.
wonderful concept. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that may be very well maybe what they are. Let's look at a little bit, another paragraph on this here. Gary, would you take the next paragraph? You still asleep? You still awake with us, Gary?
Yeah, I'm with
Okay, all right.
the ascending pilgrims. is
No,
what we-
Marancha mortals are student visitors
Okay,
only.
Okay. Marantia mortals are student visitors only within the confines of the local universe of their origin. They may visit in a super universe capacity only after they have attained a spirit status. Fully 1/2 of our visitor colony consists of stopovers, being en route elsewhere to pause to visit Overton capital. These personalities may be executing a universe assignment, or they may be enjoying a period of leisure, freedom from assignment. The privilege of intra-universal travel and observation is a part of the career of all ascending beings. The human desire to travel and observe new people and worlds will be fully gratified during the long and eventual climb to paradise through the local, super, and central universes.
Okay, so when we're mortal, Marancha mortals, we can visit within the local universe of origin only. So we can visit other things in our local universe. But when we become spirit, first stage spirits, then we're allowed to visit other local universes and other things on our way to Uversa. Okay, so a lot of the student visitors we may see flying around out there, I don't know, maybe other Marancha mortals that are experiencing this planet from where? Another of our local planets, right? They're curious. So could
So-
be.
Don't we become spirit beings when we merge with our slot adjusters?
No, we don't become spirit beings until we go all the way to the local universe capital, and Jesus, you stand before Jesus and he says, well done, my good and faithful service.
That would be
Servant.
Salvington, correct?
That would be Salvington, and that's when you actually become first stage spirits. And that's when you step out to do what? Go to the minor sector. That's the next step. Before then, we go through all the constellation and all that stuff that you go through before you get to the local universe capital. All right. Let's try to get one more paragraph. Huh?
Can I
Yeah.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
You mentioned these UFOs, etc. I'm confused. I always thought like the UFOs would be like people in different planets that are basically on the first stage like we are.
They may be, Gary.
And
The thing that I hesitate to say that though, Gary, is this, because we're still a quarantine planet. Okay. So as a quarantine planet, I can't imagine other humanoid beings on our level that would be allowed to come here while we're still in quarantine. However, a Marancha vehicle or a Marancha group of beings could be allowed to go here at any time, but even though we're on quarantine, they would come in to observe us under quarantine. But other mortals on our same level would not be allowed to do that. You follow me?
I understand that now. It makes sense. It's kind of like coming here to be us it'd be compared to us going to a jail to look at the prisoners.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. And I think maybe, I know there's this thing about beings that they have found in these spaceships and thoughts, that sort of thing. They may actually be more mortal type beings like we are that got stranded here by accident, because their ships malfunctioned. So there's lots of possibilities there.
What would happen to them when we kill them?
They would die and go on to the mansion worlds just like we do.
Okay, but
And we have done that over and over again, Gary. Every time somebody lands on this planet, they want to dissect them and take them apart. And doesn't matter if they're alive or dead, they do the same thing. So it's
this reminds me of one time when I was with my sister and her friends, and this idiot was like, y'all want to go down to a ghetto? Come on, yo. And I'm like, no, we were driving. Like, no.
Yeah.
But we would have been student visitors.
That's right. Well, you would have been student visitors.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this last paragraph in before we quit for tonight. Les, would you take that last paragraph for us, please?
The ascending pilgrims, as the ascending pilgrims are assigned to various services in connection with their paradise progression, they are domiciled as a courtesy colony on the various headquarters spheres. While functioning here and there throughout a super universe, such groups are largely self-governing. They are an ever-shifting colony, embracing all orders of evolutionary mortals and their ascending associates.
So as we ascend, we become ascending mortals on the progression plan. We are considered a courtesy colony, okay? Because we will be staying on different planets, different spheres, and things like that. According to, I'm getting a call. According to what we're there for, and that's they'll give us leeway to travel and interact with other beings in these planets. So that's the ascending pilgrim group, which we will be part of. Now, the next section is about ascending mortals, and we're going to go through this section next time. We should be able to get all the way through this and finish this paper next time. So we're going to hit this pretty hard next time. This is one you're going to definitely want to come and listen to because it's got a lot of information in it. So, all right, so let's say a little prayer and we'll quit for tonight. Rodney, would you like to close us in prayer tonight?
I would, but I would sure like to hear Letch's prayer.
Oh, okay. Letch, would you like to pray for us tonight?
For prayer.
Oh, no. I'm fixing to get disconnected by my cat here. Okay.
Oh, did you say me?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for the creation of the universe and the multiplicity of celestial beings that serve to guide us in our development and our free will to ascend, to be able to see God one day, and our enormous experiences of growth. And we're so grateful for the creation of our personalities and our relationships with other people and our future growth through the universe. Thank you, Almighty Father, for all. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And thank you all at home for joining us. Please come see us again. We'll see you on one of the formats.
Thank you.
Stop the live
Thank
feed.
you.
Stop the recording.